What's up YouTube? Matt with Matt Builds coming at y'all again with another video. So this video is going to fall in line with the generator series videos. This is my Champion generator. It's a little bit newer than the Troy-Bilt. As you can tell, it's a little cleaner. But yeah, just kind of wanted to give you a little walk around a little bit on it. Now this one, we're not going to do quite as much with this one as we did with the Troy-Bilt. But we're still going to kind of go through it, just check everything. I already have checked the gas and the oil and made sure we have oil in it. That's one thing I always do, is before you start these, check your oil. The last thing you want to do, two reasons. The last thing you want to do is run it without oil in it. Second, if these small engines were to get flooded while it's sitting, being stored and that sort of thing, they can leak gas down in the cylinder. If it leaks down in the cylinder and then it sits, it can slowly work its way around the piston rings down into the crankcase, and then it will be mixed in with your oil. Two bad things can happen there. One, it's going to water down your oil with the gasoline. The really bad thing is you don't want oil down in that crankcase, because you have basically a miniature explosion going off in that cylinder every time that engine fires. So if it does have gas down in the crankcase, that explosion could possibly make it down past the rings and into the crankcase, and then it's going to blow the side of the crankcase out. It has happened. It does happen. It is a real thing. So you always want to check that engine oil. Make sure you have oil in it, and make sure there's no gas in it, and just kind of smell it and make sure. If you have it and it's, last time you checked it, it was full, and then when you take the cap off, if it runs out, that's a quick sign. As long as it's level, that's a quick sign to let you know that there's probably gas down in there and that level has risen. So at that point in time, you would want to drain it really good, and then refill it with oil. But that's the main two reasons you want to do it, because then it's catastrophic damage and you're going to have to be putting a new engine on it. So what we're going to do, a testament to this old generator right here. Just pulled her out of storage. I've checked the oil, checked the gas. She has gas and oil and everything. So I'm gonna brag on this generator right here for a few minutes. Really been impressed with how well this thing runs. See, choke's on, got the fuel on. So let's give her a pull. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that on a generator. Like I said, I've been blown away by this thing. Every time I pull it out of storage, she cranks up just like that first time. I'm going to go off camera now and let her run for a few minutes. One other thing I always do on these small engines is the petcock down here, and I mentioned it in the Troy-Bilt video. I always, when I'm going to put these things up and store them for any amount of time, unless I'm guaranteed I'm going to run it tomorrow, while it is running, I will take and shut the fuel off. Let it run every bit of fuel out of that carburetor. It's going to help keep your carburetor from gunking up, especially with the new gases and everything. You're not supposed to run those ethanol gases. It's best to run a non-ethanol gas in these small engines. But as long as you shut that fuel off, it's going to just be one more preventative maintenance step in the future, just to help keep you from having to pull that carburetor and replace it or rebuild it. But yeah, so I'm going to go off camera now. I'm going to crank this thing up, just let it run for a few minutes, and shut the fuel line back off, and just let it run until she cuts off. Once it's ran all the gas out of the carburetor, it'll cut off on its own. And I'm going to clean her all up a good little bit. Check the spark plug, just make sure the spark plug's still good. And that's pretty much it on this one. I do have an extra carburetor and everything for this. But the way she's running right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. Alright, got everything wiped down, kind of cleaned up. And got the spark plug pulled. If I can get it to focus here. And she's not too bad. With her cranking up and running the way she does, I'm just going to put the spark plug back in it and let it go. So basically on this one, just kind of checked over everything, went through and cleaned everything up, and that's pretty much it. Wiped it down, checked the oil on it, checked the spark plug, turned the fuel off and let it run all out of gas. And I'm not keeping a whole lot of gas in the fuel tank, so I'm not leaving a whole lot of fuel just sitting there, and let it, you know, run the risk of it gelling up inside the fuel lines and clogging everything up. But yeah, so pretty much on this Champion, that's it. I'm going to tighten this spark plug the rest of the way down, put the boot back on it, and that's pretty much it. I'll be back with you in a minute. As there she is, all cleaned up and ready to put back up. She is ready to run for the winter months, the possible storm months. I'm not sure. Hopefully we don't have too many, but so basically you can see I've shut the fuel off. I cranked it up and let it run for a few minutes and shut the fuel off. I did all this off camera, and I just let it run until it runs out of fuel in the carburetor. And of course, the first thing you want to do anytime you pull one of these small engines out, whether it's, you know, your riding lawnmower, your push mower, generators, pressure washers, any small engine like this, always check that oil first. Always check that oil. It's just you know, something that takes just a few minutes and can save you a whole lot of time, money, and headaches. But yeah, she's all wiped up, cleaned up. Went through and checked that spark plug, and she's good to go. There she is, guys. She's ready to go for another season. And again, this video right here was kind of just a routine maintenance type thing, just checking everything out. Not necessarily you know, rebuilding carburetors or anything, but this is just on this Champion generator, but it kind of covers any small engines, because that's the main thing you're doing, is just keeping that engine up and running. And the last thing you want to do is, you know, power goes out, you need to do something, you need to run something, and you pull your generator out and you got to crank it up and it don't run. That's the last thing you want. So I mean, this took me 30 minutes to an hour maybe, and you know, it just to have that peace of mind that if I need to crank the generator, it's ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned, because I have another video coming on a Honda generator that I'm going to be doing a lot of work on it. So stay tuned on the channel for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next one.